y'all self. Y'all black, and y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman.
An Illinois mayor is getting national attention for the way that she's spending taxpayer dollars. But she's now accused of spending tens of thousands of taxpayer funds on self-promoting billboards, as well as putting her name on government buildings, government vehicles.
Why can't we get in our public building to have meetings? Why are meetings being canceled? Why can't we have transparency what's going on with our tax dollars?
So it looks like things are not going too well for Tiffany Henyard, because the trustees of Dolton are still on her neck. And word on the street is the FBI have locked her out of her bank accounts, and they are well on their way to seizing her assets. This comes after she was caught embezzling and severely misusing the money that the hardworking citizens of Dolton have been contributing through their taxes. I mean, she blew all the money on a lavish security team, huge billboards, and sledging thousands of dollars a day on her online shopping spree.
To mention the Tiffany Henyard calendar, which includes the super mayor's birthday, because you can't forget that. She could pay for all of this herself, given that her salary for the two jobs is nearly $300,000. More than the state's governor, by the way. But it's all on the taxpayer's dime. And this goes beyond signage and merch. Henyard put an ordinance in place that if she lost a future mayoral election, the next mayor's salary would be dropped from $200,000 to $25,000. But if she wins, it stays the same.
A lot of people feel like the reason she was able to get away with it for so long, and the reason she's not rotting in jail right now, is because even after all the evidence they've stacked up against her, some of the trustees were also in on it. So they're protecting her. In fact, there's even some rumors going around that the trustees who are currently on her neck are just the ones who didn't get a cut. And this entire thing goes far deeper than we can imagine now, as most of y'all already know Tiffany has been fighting for her life in them town meetings for a couple weeks now, and it's safe to say things are not looking up for her. The trustees of Dolton have been looking into Tiffany's corruption for a long time, and even tried to quietly investigate things by themselves by asking her to submit her financial records. But she was giving them a hard time and using her power to silence people and tamper with evidence.
He do not work here, he's fired. So stop playing these silly games, board of trustees, and putting people's lives in jeopardy. So I'm here to tell everybody from the horse's mouth, which I made this statement at the board meeting. So it's nothing different. So, any questions?
That seems like an intimidation tactic. And Dolton has less than 30 police officers. But that room, I only saw two police officers, but presumably whomever was holding the camera is a police officer as well. So how many officers were in that room?
At some point, everyone was fed up of her, making the investigation difficult. And that's when they called in the former mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot, to step in and take charge of the investigation. And baby, she found a whole lot of incriminating evidence against Tiffany that she honestly should have been rethinking her life decisions about in a jail cell right now. But she's still a free woman, 'cause she's got some very powerful people protecting her. It wasn't until Lori was brought in on this case as a special investigator that we found about the true horrors of Tiffany's criminal behavior and just how much it was affecting the people of Dolton. According to Lori's findings after her investigation, Dolton's general fund balance was $5.61 million. But by May of 2024, the balance had dropped to a deficit of $3.65 million. There were also detailed credit card transactions amounting to thousands of dollars, which had been traced back to the expensive online shopping spree that Tiffany was having whenever she was bored in her house. The credit card had been used to make major purchases at Amazon, Target, Walgreens, Wayfair, and other retailers. Notably, one of the purchases on Amazon amounted to $33,000 on January 5th of 2023. That same day, two more purchases were made on the site, one for $4,753.14, making all these transactions to Amazon made on the same day over $433,000. She also spent over $7,000 at Wayfair and $2,200 at Best Buy, as well as total of $12,988 on vacation trips to other countries in the past year alone. This is beyond just her being a thief. This some demonic behavior right here. How do you even sleep at night knowing you blowing through all this money that don't belong to you? Meanwhile, the people who are supposed to be benefiting from it are severely struggling and barely getting by. Oh, But it don't even stop there. The community members were sent into a huge shock when it was revealed that as of June 18, 2024, at least 589 checks amounting over $6 million were approved and printed, but never sent to vendors. These vendors have been waiting on the money the whole time, and Tiffany had decided to keep it to treat herself to several shopping sprees and vacation trips. In another shocking revelation, the investigation found that 2 police officers who people believe was working for Tiffany and doing some questionable favors for her had received overtime pay exceeding their annual salaries. One officer's salary for fiscal year 2024 was $87,200, yet the officer received another $14,800 in overtime pay. The second officer, with a salary of $73,500, received $10,277 in overtime pay for the fiscal year 24. She also spent tens of thousands of dollars on a week-long walk to promote her self-named cancer charity, which has yet to file required reporting. She expends almost $15,000 for a trip to Vegas, as well as shooting music videos like this awesome one with fellow city employees. Once all this came out, a lot of the residents of Dolton called her out to be punished, and for the feds to make a brutal example out of her. In fact, Fox News caught up with one of the former trustees of Dolton, and she said, "I suspected it all along. Tiffany needs to be locked up. She needs to be made an example out of that. She cannot go around using our money and spending it. However, she wants to spend it like the job comes with a cash register." But like I already said, the feds are not taking it easy on Tiffany, and the board of trustees don't have a plan on letting her up either, because she was recently slapped with 2 subpoenas. Not only that, but the FBI is working on freezing all of her bank accounts and assets with immediate effect, so they can recoup the remainder of all the stolen money. In the first subpoena, feds are seeking personnel files, wage and tax documents, time and attendance records, contracts and checks written to cash from Henyard's multiple endeavors, a restaurant. She owns a property management company. She runs her political action committee and a charity in her name. In the second subpoena, they are seeking financial documents of the township, like budgets, payroll records, and ordinances covering credit card purchases, expense reports and reimbursements, security details, and use of vehicles and baby. They found a whole lot of incriminating evidence. Apparently, the reason the feds haven't made an arrest yet is because Tiffany has several people protecting her. And that's why the feds want to gather enough concrete and undeniable evidence before going in for arrest. This also explains why they slapped her with these 2 subpoenas. And as far as her accounts go, the Board of Trustees revealed during a recent meeting that they approved a freeze on credit card spending amid the ongoing federal investigation. But get this, y'all, why Tiffany had the nerve to get upset when she found out about this and tried to convince the Board of Trustees to open it up again, 'cause she was worried that the people in the town were going to struggle. She said, "You thought it was just a way to stop Tiffany Henyard, but it was a way to basically stop the services here in Thornton Township." Mind y'all this, the same woman that was out here using hardworking taxpayers' money to fund lavish vacation trips blew $43,000 a day on Amazon and was out here bribing officers by paying them overtime, spending millions on her personal security. And now she wants us to believe she's concerned about the people of Dolton. She should have thought about that when she initially got the bright idea of stealing from these people. So now not only does she have to worry about access to the town's money being limited, but her own personal bank accounts are going to be frozen too any day now, because all those millions sitting up in them are not hers, and Dolton going to get that money back one way or another. As usual, people had their own thoughts about this, like this person who said when they put Henyard beneath the jail, they must disband the police department and hire new officers. Her corruption has ruined that town. Another person said not only does she need to go to jail, but she needs to pay back all the citizens and city funds she illegally used for her personal benefit. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think of Tiffany getting caught? And do y'all think they should freeze her accounts and seize her assets? Y'all do what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.